Yo, 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 what's going on, my friend? This is Martin Ware. It looks like we are live. We are live now doing this hangout. So before we get started, I just want to go ahead and give me 1 second. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me. Okay, let me know if you can hear me. And if you can hear me, there was an error. Give me 1 second. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear me. And if you can, yo, 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 what's going on, my friend? This is Martin. Okay, so it looks like we are live. Okay, so we'll start in 60 seconds. I just want to make sure that you guys are hearing me and that we have everything. Give me 1 second. All right. I'm using a new technology right now, new platform. So definitely make sure that you guys can hear me. So if you guys can hear me okay, go ahead and let me know. And if you can, then we'll get started right away. So let me go ahead and stop screen sharing real quick. It looks like one of, let's see. What's up, guys? My name is Martin. You guys are here to really just, get better, and I'm going to provide as much value as I possibly can today. I'm going to go hard in the paint, and I'm just going to leave it all on the line for you to make sure you guys are taking a ton of notes and you guys are really getting better out here. Okay, you're investing some time, so let's actually get started. Okay, I'm not sure why this is. 1 second, guys. All right, let me just show my screen. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Okay. All right, looks like everything's good. Perfect. Awesome. All right, well, let's actually get started. And let me go here. So on your screen, it says Podcast Mastery Blueprint. Discover the simple process to creating, producing, and launching a strategic podcasting business. My name is Martin Ware. As I mentioned earlier, I'm actually the founder and the host of the Unstoppable Journey podcast. You can find me on iTunes, on Stitcher Radio. You can find me at unstoppablejourney.com. Okay, I have a podcast that I released, and I'm going to share with you the ins and outs and the secrets that I've actually learned along my own journey that you can apply, and you can really just take it, and take your game to the next level. I'm not playing, okay? I'm literally going to expose the truth on the internet marketing industry's best kept recruiting secret. I will show you on this very workshop how to actually create a lead and cash flowing machine that spits out money like an ATM on 100% autopilot, okay? So if you're up for that, if you're here to learn how to podcast, if you've been wanting to learn how to podcast, if you had the idea, you just don't know the tools that is necessary, you don't know where to go or what, information to consume to be able to go out there and make it happen, I'm going to share with you everything that I know that I've been implementing into my own personal podcast journey that you can now apply to your life. Okay, so if you're up for that, let's go ahead and get this party on. Let's get it started. So I have a special gift for you. If you stay right to the end of tonight's training, I'll be sharing with you a special untapped resource to help build professional looking capture pages and funnels that actually help build your influence. Okay, this is literally my secret weapon of building my audience so they know, like, and trust me. I'm going to share with you how to actually create a podcast today. At the end, I'm going to share with you actually how you can build a list of people that are diehard fans that you now build a community around. I just got off a mastermind call with one of my mentors, and the big thing was building a community, right? Building a community. One message I got from him was we have to build a community around us, and I'm going to share with you how you can actually do that. If you stay to the end, it's going to be a free gift. I'm going to offer it to you. It's totally free. You just got to wait to the end in order for you to get it. Okay, so make sure you guys are taking some notes. You have a pen and paper out, and you guys are taking notes in order for you to really absorb what I'm about to share with you today. So here's the game plan for tonight, okay? Tonight you'll discover the rarely shared strategy to generate massive targeted leads to your products and services using an untapped traffic resource. Okay. And I'm going to share with you actually how to start a podcast. Okay. How to create it, how to produce it, and then at the end, how to actually launch it. Okay. If you're anything like me and you've been, wanting to launch a podcast, you might have come up against hurdles. Like, I don't know what to talk about. I don't know who is my avatar. I don't know what to even say, or maybe have this one. I don't know all the technology that's out there and how to actually create it. That was something that held me back. And I'm going to share with you some technology and tools that I use that help me get my podcast out there. And once you understand and once you master it, then you can actually get them out there on a consistent basis. So I'm going to share with you how to actually start a podcast today. Number two, I'm going to share with you the 8-step process, how to actually produce your podcast. So once you learn about podcast newbie, you don't even know about podcasting. A few months ago, okay, last year, 2014, I knew about podcasts. I didn't know how to actually create one. I didn't know how to do it or anything like that until I went to a live event. And then now I was able to replicate and really just model what success is out there. And now I'm going to share with you how to actually do that. And then lastly, I'm going to share with you how to actually launch your podcast. Okay. So once you have it created, what do you actually do? What are the steps? What is the blueprint to actually launching your podcast out there? So you make sure you get traction and you make sure you get people listening to your podcast, and it's not just a waste of energy. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to share with you how to actually grow your podcast audience. Okay. Audience is everything. If you don't have no one listening to what you actually put out there, the content, then you're pretty much just wasting your time. So I'm going to share with you a few tips that I do and that I've learned along my journey to actually grow my podcast audience. Okay. And then lastly, I'm going to share with you how to actually monetize your podcast. Okay, I get a lot of these questions. Putting out a podcast, that's awesome, but how do you actually make money from your podcast? So I'm going to share with you a few tips monetizing your podcast. So if you're up for it, let me know. Say aye. Okay, go ahead and let me know that you guys are still here and that you guys are listening and you guys are ready to rock and roll. Okay, if you're ready to go, then let me know, and we'll actually, we'll continue along our journey. So looks like people are ready to go. So let's begin. So this right now, it's time to really put away all distractions. Make sure you click out of your Facebook, click out of your Twitter, click out of your Instagram. Focus your attention for the next 45 to 60 minutes so you can actually obtain what I'm about to share with you. Okay, the knowledge, the value that I'm about to share with you today has really cost me, quite a few, actually a few $1,000s, and I'm going to share with you how you can actually learn from what I've gone through. Okay, so let's get started. If you're ready to go, let's get ready. I'm going to give you everything I can today, and we'll knock it out of the park. So some of you are probably asking yourself, well, who are you, Martin? Like, why should I even listen to you? Okay, so since 2010, I've been studying online marketing and direct response marketing under some of the highest multi-million-dollar elite earners, such as Mike Dillard, godfather of attraction marketing, Mr. Jonathan Budd, a good friend, and really just a person that is just crushing it, and has really been the person that has shared with me a lot of knowledge about this industry. Dagan Smith, another great marketer. Okay, people that have really just paved the way to internet marketers like myself and yourself. You've probably heard of some of these names. Some of the mentors, Ray Gomez III. Okay, awesome market from Arizona. My mentor, Vince Reed, okay, guy from Southern California, not too far from where I'm at. And then John Lee Dumas, #1 podcaster out there in iTunes, and just really crushing it. Okay, so here's some of the mentors that I've been able to partner with and really just learn from. Okay, learn from them and really just master what it is they're doing, and really just being able to apply it to my own business. So for the past 5 years, like I mentioned, I received my online marketing education after long sleepless nights, investing well over $60,000, learning from these experts, attending multiple live events on an annual basis, always evolving, always getting better. The one thing that I always do is I always find the events that I'm going to attend for the year and make sure I get there. Why? There's a few reasons. Number one, you get around the people that are in the same mindset as you. You get around people that have a bigger mindset than you, and it makes it all real. You're able to mingle, you're able to connect with others, and you have to get out. You have to get out and meet people. Okay, and it's been a strategy for me, and it's been working. I've been able to connect with a lot of these leaders, and really just create partnerships and friendships, and really people that I look up to. Well, Right now at the moment, I currently train and coach clients from different parts of the globe. Okay, I've actually been a top income earner and several two-tier affiliate opportunities created by a seven-figure earner and well-respected online marketer. I placed in the top 10 in affiliate marketing competitions with elite earners like Mark Hoverson, Jonathan Budd, Ray Higdon, Greg Gomez, and William Rapp, to name a few. Now, I don't say all this to boost or brag, my friend. I say this because I understand that it's possible to create freedom online. Okay, it really is possible. Even if you struggled miserably like I did for 2.5 years, not making a single dime online. And I know that if I can do it, you can do it. Okay, and I'm going to share with you a few tips today that I'm using in my business that can actually take yours to the next level. Okay, like it has mine. And maybe, just maybe, after this presentation, you too will have the blueprint and strategy I used to do it. Okay, so the Unstoppable Journey, I am the founder and host of The Unstoppable Journey. I launched it in November 2014, and I've actually was awarded a few podcast awards. I won podcast, most educational podcast, best new podcast, most inspiring podcast, best overall host, and best overall podcast. And I was just in shock because I launched it in November 2014, and the polls went out in January. So not too long ago. And what I want to get at today is that you don't really need to make it harder than what it is, because it's really not that hard once you understand the blueprint, right? It's a blueprint that I'm going to share with you today that if you go ahead and you take action on it, you can also get the results, okay? And here's a Facebook by Jackie, where she wrote me, "Well deserved, Martin. I listened to a lot of your shows since I saw the results. I think you want something in every category. First for most educational, second for best overall host, most inspiring, best new show, third for most original." I don't know how I got that, but I'll take it. I want some of your secrets, haha. So just a cool little thing that I was able to do with my own podcast. And I hit iTunes new and noteworthy for 3 different categories, as you can see right here. I was actually in business, education, and technology, and I was able to use and be able to tap into millions of people that go to iTunes on an everyday basis and tap into that platform. Okay, as you can see, all time. This is actually a screenshot of last week. So it says 52,000 downloads overall. It's actually more like close to 60 now. So we've been able to take our podcast, use this strategy, use this blueprint, and really just get on the leaderboards and make sure that we're in the new note where they're getting getting traction into the podcast, and being able to tap into new markets that are out there that I really wouldn't have tapped into if I didn't choose to decide to. You can do it also, my friend. I'm gonna share with you the blueprints on how to actually do it tonight. And we've been downloaded over this says 45,000 times. It's actually more like 59, something like that. And we've been listened to over 45 different countries. So we're getting traction little by little. And my game plan is put my head down and see where I'm at a year from now. Okay, so I'm going to share with you how to actually do that. So here are some major everything. Let's talk about a few major problems that I have heard in the communities, that I have heard from people that are on my list, or just people that I connect with. There's a few problems that people face, and number one is, what is a podcast? Right? You're probably saying, well, what the heck is a podcast, Martin? And don't feel bad. I actually had these same questions, when I first started hearing about podcasting at a live event. Like, what is a podcast? How is that going to help my business? How can I actually tap into that? Things of that nature. So what is a podcast? How do I find my topic? Okay. One thing that comes up a lot is, okay, I understand what a podcast is now, but how do I actually find my topic? Number 3 is, how do I create a perfect avatar? Someone that I can create that is going to listen to what it is that I have, the value that I'm putting out there, and how can I find these people? Where are they hanging out? What do they like listening to? What are they like doing? And how can I actually create that? Okay, that's another major problem people face. Number 4 is not knowing the tools and software to use. And this one right here, number 4, is really what kept me. I learned about podcasting in April of 2014, and I didn't launch mine until November. So there was quite a few months where I actually procrastinated because of I didn't know all the tools, I didn't know all the softwares that I needed in order for me to succeed, and I just made it an excuse. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure that we break down those excuses today, so you can see that it's not that hard and it's not that difficult. You can actually go out there and create your very own podcast yourself. Number 5 is not knowing how to leverage iTunes. Okay, people, they figure out the tools and the things, and the softwares that they need. They know how to create their topic and all that, but they don't know that there's a certain formula that if you leverage it, you can tap into millions of people that are really just untapped listening to podcasts. But there's a formula. There's a secret formula that you got to actually use and follow in order for you to actually get on to the iTunes platform. Number 6 is actually how to monetize your podcast. As I share with you what a podcast is in the upcoming slides, you're gonna probably have something come up in your mind, a blockage. Well, okay, that's fine. You can create a podcast, but how do I actually make money? I'm gonna be investing some time into this. How do I actually create money from it? And how do I monetize a podcast? Well, I'm gonna share with you a few steps that I'm doing now and that you can actually model, that you can actually monetize your podcast, as well. Okay, so I want you to know that today, all the nerve shattering, uncomfortable phobias and deception stop today. Okay. It stops right now. It stops on this workshop, because I'm going to really just break through all those myths and break through all those barriers. Okay. On the other side of that is going to be success, is going to be you learning how to actually create a podcast and being able to broadcast it out to the world and being able to tap into millions and millions of people that listen to podcasts on an everyday basis. So be ready. If you're ready to take that in, make sure you let yourself, give yourself permission to be able to, soak in the knowledge and the value that I'm going to share with you today. Okay. So just tell yourself, make sure, I am able to really get this information tonight. And technology have radically altered the way someone shares their opportunity with folks. Okay, that's as technology and things start to increase and evolve. It's really altered the way that if you have an opportunity in a network marketing company, or if you do health and wellness, or any niche, it doesn't really matter, even if it's brick and mortar. Okay, technology has really altered the way we share things with others. Okay, there's people in third world countries that have iPhones and smartphones, and they're able to now connect with everybody around the world, and it's never really been like that. I mean, you could connect with people, but now it's just at a faster rate. This is really the key to growing massive downlines while producing cash flow, even if no one joins your primary business. All the people that I showed you, earlier in those slides, one thing that they all did is they set up their business where they're making, cash flow come in, even if somebody doesn't join their primary business. Okay. If all you're doing is just trying to get people into your primary business, and try to sell them on the product or service that you're selling, then you're going to find that you're going to burn out that list quick. And what happens if you talk to 100 people, maybe, 1 to 10, okay, 10% are going to say yes. Okay. But what happens to all the 90 people that say no? Okay. And that's what these, mentors of mine have really been able to shift and really share with me. And now I'm sharing it with you. But it's really just cash flowing when some people, when the people that say no to you, you're able to cash flow on that, then now you have a thriving business. You now have marketing budget. Now you have ways to get your product service out there. Okay. If you want to create a seismic shift in your income, ability to friction-free recruit, podcast is one of the best ways I've found to get in front of thousands who are actively searching for what it is that I actually have to offer. Okay. I've learned that, man, podcasting is it's growing. Okay. There's more people learning about it. And in the few slides ahead, I'm not going to jump ahead of myself, but I'm going to share with you some facts that that is indicating that there's a shift happening right now. And if you can be in front of that shift and you know that it's coming, you can position yourself in front of it, you can actually create wealth. Okay. You can create, income, and you can create money that will, want to do, be with your family, go on vacations, be with, little Johnny or little Sally, right? At their games and things like that. So it's it's really something phenomenal that's happening here with podcasting. So you're probably asking yourself the question, what is a podcast? Okay, so here is the definition of a podcast. It's a digital audio file made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or a portable media player. Typically, it's available as a series or new installments of which can be received by subscribers. Okay, so it's an audio file. You're listening to in your ears. Okay, and there's there's the host that's actually hosting the podcast, and then there's the receiver that's actually listening to the podcast, right? Well, you as a host, you can create content in a form of audio and put it out there into platforms like iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud that have millions and millions of people that are waiting to consume your content, and you can be there. Okay. Now, again, let's recap. What is a podcast? It's a digital audio file that you're able to download. It either comes in a series or it comes in installments. Okay, there's interviews, there's short fire burst topics. Okay, there's co-hosting, there's video podcasts. There's so many things that go into podcasts, but I want to keep it really simple. In the gist of it all, it's an audio file, okay, that you download or people download. Here are 5 reasons that I've come up with to consider podcasting in the first place. Number 1, it's on demand. Okay, podcasting is on demand right now. Listeners don't have to say no to something to actually say yes to podcasting. They actually can listen to podcasting while they're driving their car, and what I'm talking about is CarPlay. Okay, while they're exercising or taking walks, while they're in the mountains, wherever they are. But they actually, now you can tap into CarPlay, which is, if you can see it right there on that picture, there's a purple icon, okay, which is called an app that is iTunes. Anybody that's driving a car, they now have a choice if they want to listen to the radio or all these commercials or just things that are not providing value to them, or they actually have a choice to put and consume things that they actually want to consume. Okay, and as a host, this is powerful, my friend. This is powerful, right? Powerful right there on your notes. Because if you're able to tap into someone that is driving to work or from work or going to the gym, and you're able to tap into and be in their ears, which is an intimate place, you now build that that trust, and now you have the opportunity to really build a community. Okay, and number 2, it's targeted, and most importantly, it's free. Let's talk about targeted. So, what interests you? Let me ask you that question real quick. What interests you? Okay, in iTunes, there's 16 different categories with hundreds of subcategories. So, think about what it is that interests you. I mean, there's podcasts for everything out there. Okay, from weight loss to entrepreneurs to repairing cars to, learning the SATs, learning a new language. Like, there's so many podcasts out there. You got to really niche down and figure out, what do you want to talk about? What do you have expertise to talk about in? And what are you passionate about talking about? And if you don't know it right now, don't worry. In the upcoming slides, I'm going to take you through an exercise that will actually help you figure this out. Okay, so in iTunes, there's 16 categories. There's over hundreds of subcategories that you can tap into. One thing that I really want you to write down is 525 million active users on iTunes. Okay, there's over 350 million that access iTunes on their iPhone, which is crazy numbers. This is the blue ocean that you can potentially be swimming in and playing in, right? You see that purple icon? I don't have an iPhone. I have a Samsung, but that purple icon is iTunes app that, beginning of 2015, you cannot delete that app. So if you have an iPhone, you've probably seen this app. Okay, that app, you cannot delete it. So what does that do? That's prime real estate right there in somebody's phone. Okay, your phone, we don't go anywhere without our phones nowadays. Okay, if we leave the house without our phones, we literally, I don't know about you, but for me, I've actually driven back to get the phone, right? Because it's like a part of you, right? And you start scratching and itching if you don't have it. So that iTunes, app icon that's right there, you now have ability to open up a portal of endless amount of people that you can now attract to your business. Okay, so just something to think about. You can find a podcast that is focused on the exact topics and interests that you have. So you now have a choice, my friend. When the radio plays, you don't have the choice. The DJ, whoever's emceeing that radio station, has the choice of what they actually want to play. You can call and request certain things, but you typically do not have the power to actually, dictate what you listen to. Podcasting is so different. You download, you subscribe to the podcast that you actually want to hear and want to get better at. If you don't like it, you can, simple as, just uninstalling that podcast, right? So you now have the power and the ability to now listen to whatever you want to listen to. Best of all, and this is big, podcasting is free, my friend. It's really unlimited content that you can stream or download for absolutely nothing. Okay. A major reason podcast hosts are building massive audiences. Okay. And if you're in the internet marketing niche, or if you're in the network marketing niche, or you own a brick and mortar, you understand that building your list is important. Okay. Those are people that have raised their hand, that they at one point or another, they said that they like what you do or what you have. All right, if you're able to build a list now, a community, again, going back to what I just learned from one of my mentors that's making 7 figures, okay, one that was in a picture that I showed in the slide earlier. Okay, yes, I still have mentors, guys. Okay, I'm still getting better. And his whole thing today, well, not the whole thing, but one of the things was building a community, right? Building a community of others. And when you're able to have a podcast and someone downloads it offer, they're taking you now in their car. They're taking you now when they're at the gym working out. They're now taking you when they're at the park walking or running, hiking, etc. Right? They're now taking you with them, and now you're being able to build that intimate relationship with them that you can't do in other forms of marketing. Okay, at least it takes longer, right? So podcasting is one of those that it's intimate. Number 3, it allows the host to build an intimate connection with their audience. Okay, continue with that. Our first earthly experience as a child is hearing voices. We are drawn to the voices in a powerful way, and will always be like that. As humans, we connect with voices, we connect with sound. Okay, and if you're able to tap into that energy, and you're able to now jump in front of it and use that energy to your advantage, then you can tap into that resource as well. Okay. When you ask the question, what are you struggling with? Okay. When you have an audience and you're building an audience, and if you're not building an audience, then you definitely want to stay to the end, because I'm going to share with you that free tool where you can now build an audience. But when you build an audience and you actually ask them, you survey your audience, right? What are you actually struggling with? It's funny, they will actually tell you, right? They're actually telling you, and you can actually create a solution to their struggle. And the best marketers that are out there, they find a problem and just the wealth creators of this planet, of this world, the people that have passed on already, or they've walked this planet years ago. You can find this in their success. Look at what's happening around them. They figure out there's a problem. They figure out a solution, and it helps others, really just eliminate that struggle, right? So if you're able to do that now, you can tap into that wealth formula, which is energy, right? So with that, your first product is born. And I'm going to give a quick hint here. This is why I actually created this podcast mastery blueprint, because there's people that came to me and saying, hey, how do I podcast? I want a podcast. I just don't know how to do it. I have these questions. Can you help me? All right. Hence why we're actually doing this right now. Okay. So when you're able to figure out what people are struggling with, you find a solution, you're able to provide that, you can be on the side of that wealth creation. Number 4, you have the ability to leverage directories, okay? Other places that have an audience. All you have to do is tap into that, open the doors and tap into that, walk in and be able to tap into millions and millions of people. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud are the 3 major directories, and they all have one thing in common, my friend. Okay, so if you want to write this down, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud, there's this big 3 major directories. There's others out there, but these are like the 3 major heavy hitters, okay? iTunes being number 1, obviously, okay? They all have one thing in common. They already have a massive community that is searching for content to their platform. So they already have people coming to the platform. Now what now what we can tap into as hosts is go to where the platform is and provide content. Okay. Another thing that one of my mentors said, okay, same one, is providing content out there. Okay, providing content on a consistent basis. And that's what I've been able to do with Unstoppable Journey, is provide content to people that people love and they like to consume, and it's valuable to them, obviously, right? If not, they wouldn't consume it. But you can now tap into these communities and these resources that are waiting for you to really just tap into, right? And the big three are iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. Okay, so those are three major directories that you can tap into. Number 5 is you build authority and credibility in your niche. Okay, by having a podcast, you now can say, I am a podcaster. Okay, and it's like saying I have a book, right? I'm an author. Well, I'm a podcaster. And when I say that, as opposed to I'm an online marketer, which is crazy, people they it brings up this emotion, like, what is that? What is a podcaster? How do I become a podcaster? Right? It's like saying, I'm an author, and you're not an author. You want to be an author now because someone just told you. Well, when you're able to create a podcast, you build that authority and that credibility in your niche. When you interview other successful people, you now are associated with them. Perception is reality. What did you first think? What popped up your head when you first seen those slides with the mentors that I showed earlier? Right? Like, wow, how's that guy with that person? Or, naturally, as humans, we associate others or ourselves with people who are around. So by you interviewing other successful people, you are now associated with them. So your audience now sees you as that authority figure that, builds that credibility. Okay, if you can get these, big names to come on your show, and I'll share with you, not on the spot on this workshop, but I'll be able to share with you how to actually do that. Then you can now boost your authority in the marketplace. When you have a platform, you're building credibility as someone who knows how to create value. Okay, when you're creating podcasts, that's value out there. Okay, when you serve an audience with value consistently and for free, you're building credibility with them as they grow to know, like, and trust you. And that's the one key thing that you really got to understand is people do business with people that they know, that they like, and they trust. If think about it, have you ever done business with someone that looks, just shady or sketchy, and did you give them money to, do a transaction? No, you probably didn't. You probably walked out. You walked the other way around. Well, with podcasting, as they start to listen to your content, you start building that like, that trust, and that know factor that people are starting to, if they hear you, enough, and you're consistent, that's a key word, consistent, then they can now, if you refer something, which I'll talk about later, then, they'll go and they'll get it because they're starting to like and trust you, right? So that's really big when building your authority and your credibility. So let's shift a little bit. Let me get a quick drink of water. If you're getting value from this podcast or from this workshop, please let me know. Sweet. Awesome. So let's talk about finding your topic now. Okay, so finding your topic. You know now what a podcast is. You now know, the potential of tapping into a really untapped resource, a blue ocean, to play in a blue ocean, and really tap into millions and millions of people that are already consuming this stuff. So now let's talk about finding your topic. So I want you to write, this is a short exercise, think about it now, but really go through it. If you have to watch the replay, definitely catch the replay on this, because this is really what's going to help you determine what your podcast is all about. Okay, so on one side of your sheet of paper, write passions, okay, and then draw a line through that in the middle, and on the other side, put expertise. Okay, so one side's gonna be passion, one side's gonna be expertise. On the left side of the passion side, you're gonna write as much as you possibly can about what you're passionate about. Okay, and don't give me the bull crap that you're not passionate about anything. All right, because that's just total BS. You're human, you're alive, right? If you're not, then jump off this webinar right now, please. Okay, what are you passionate about? For me, my passions are exploring, being adventurous, building my networks, being in nature, and really just, building a community as well, right? Those are a few of my passions. I love traveling, I love exploring. Those are my passions. The expertise side, what are you an expert in? Okay, no matter how long you've been on this planet, whether that's 18 years or 20 years or 30 years, 40, 50, 60, 70, however time you've been on this planet, you've gone through your own personal journey and you've learned skills, whether that's a mechanic or whether that's, a chef or a barber, or maybe you worked in the corporate world, maybe you worked as a team leader. There's certain things that you've learned along your journey that make you an expert in that particular field. That your expertise, I didn't walk the same journey as you did, and so did millions of other people, right? They'd walk their own personal journey, and now you can bring that as your expertise, and you can actually exploit it, right? You can share it with others and be able to be that teacher and give back that value that you've put, hard work and time and sweat and tears to learning and to mastering. Okay, so when you're able to do those, the passion test and the expertise, you get something that's called the zone of genius. Okay, and I actually took this from I borrowed it from one of my mentors, and he talks about this test, right? And this is how I was able to get my podcast going, because I was able to do this exercise. But when you're able to do that, you create a zone of genius, and you're going to start to find out that things are going to crisscross and move into a passion and expertise. And when you're able to get that zone of genius, that's the topic that you create, and because you're passionate about it, you have expertise in it, and now you can give others value about that topic and really just take it to the next level. So do this exercise again. If you have to watch a replay, watch it again. It's not hard. Just passion, expertise, and when you write those two things down, you'll create a zone of genius that you can now use as your podcast topic. Okay, so really awesome exercise. Don't skip it, guys, because if you do, you're gonna be that person saying, well, what do I talk about? What do I create a podcast about? I see this opportunity, but what do I do? Right? Don't be that person. Do this exercise, get it out of the way, and you'll find what your topic is, what your zone of genius is, and what you actually want to talk about, okay, on your podcast. So let's now talk about crafting your perfect avatar, okay? And for me, my avatar, the person that listens to the Unstoppable Journey, his name is Henry. He's 32 years old. He's married with a wife. He has two children, ages 5 and 7. Okay. He drives to work 30 minutes. He commutes, and 45 minutes commutes back because there's traffic. And he secretly wants to get out of the 9 to 5 grind and create his own economy so he can spend more time with his family, doing the things that he loves, traveling, being able to pursue his passions. But he's at the 9 to 5 right now. So he listens to Unstoppable Journey to get the knowledge and the value to, and the skill sets that I share on that podcast to now be able to create and design his life how he really wants to. Okay, he knows, by me bringing on other people to interview and having them share their value, then he can get that value and now use it in his own life. Okay, so when I'm able to provide that for him, he comes back and listens to Unstoppable again. He now shares it with his friends and family. He shares it with his coworkers. He shares it with people at the gym, and that's how the community builds. Okay, so knowing strictly to a T, not just, and I'm not talking about the surface of an avatar, like, he has to be, it's either male, female, but between the ages of 20 and 35, and that's on the top of the surface. You got to drill down deeper. Give your avatar a name. My avatar's name is Henry. Give them an age. How old are they? My avatar's age is 32. Are they married? Are they single? If you know these things, you know how to craft your podcast. You know how to craft your messages. You know what you're going to talk about, because you know your avatar more than they know themselves. Okay, so don't skip this exercise as well, because if you do this and you're able to craft your perfect avatar, then you now can tap into what they like, and you can provide that. Okay, and it's very, very powerful. If you skip this, then you're gonna be one of those people saying, "Well, I don't know, who my audience is. I don't know where they hang out," right? Because I know where Henry hangs out. He hangs out at live events. He hangs out, you know, on different webinars, on different, he likes reading inspirational books. He likes, you know Think and Grow Rich. He likes, having coaches, right, to get better as a person. So I know that. I know where to go and find Henry. Okay, so now that how to actually create your topic and how to actually craft your message for your avatar and create your avatar, let's talk a little bit about what, the system requirements that in order for you to create your podcast. Okay, number one, you're going to need a computer. Okay, you can also do it on, an iPad or a tablet, but for the most part, you're going to need a computer. You're going to need a microphone. Okay, you're going to need something to speak into, and I'm going to share with you a few mics that examples of mics in later slides. But have a microphone. The worst thing you can do is try to record something on your computer speakers. It just gets too much static, and the one thing you do not want to remember, it's intimate, right? Podcast is intimate. You don't want to have all these static noises and things that are going on in the background, because that's going to annoy your listener, your avatar, and they can find other podcasts that they don't have to deal with that. So make sure you have a microphone. And number three, recording and editing software. Okay, so those are the basic three things that you need. You need a computer, you need a microphone, and you need some way to record and edit the podcast once it's created. Okay, so let's actually talk about the microphone. So you might want to write this down. You can go on the low end side. Okay, the Logitech Clear Chat. It's $29.99. It looks like this. As a matter of fact, this is actually what I'm using at the moment. Okay, I've already had this before I even started podcasting, so it just worked hand in hand. You can get a really good audio, and it works. Okay, so there's no excuses. If money is a thing, I mean, $29.99. Save up. Don't drink a few beers. Don't go out on the weekend. Make it happen. Okay, if this is something that you want to pursue, I mean, it's really inexpensive. $29.99. Okay, now that let's move up to the medium grade. Okay, it's the ATR 2100. It's $59.99. Okay, it looks like this. It's a mic. Um, Me personally, I use the Logitech still. Okay, just because I'm able to be portable, and I'm able to, it's a USB, so it just plugs into my laptop. But this one right here, I actually don't own it, but it's something that other professionals that are in podcasting have recommended and used as well. And the big daddy of them all is the high caliber. The Cadillac is the Heel PR. It's 327. Looks like this bad boy. Okay, I'm working up towards that. I'm still using Logitech though, so if I can use Logitech, guys, you don't have to have all the money to get started and really just being able to crush it with podcasting. If you have a little bit more income to spend, you can go with the ATR 2100, or you can go with the Cadillac. Okay, it's up to you. Here are three examples of microphones that you can use. If you're on a tight budget, go with the Logitech. You can get it at Amazon. You can get it on not Barnes & Noble, BestBuy.com. You go to Best Buy, just look for the Logitech Clear Chat. Okay, get started right away. So those are the microphones. Here's the blueprint right here, guys. Okay, we're getting some meat and potatoes of this workshop now. So there's an 8-step process to really producing a podcast. Okay, number one is recording. Okay, recording your podcast. Number two is adding an intro. Number three is exporting that that audio file that you just created into an MP3 file, tagging the MP3 file so all the directories like iTunes, Stitcher Radio, SoundCloud can actually now, once you tag your MP3, now all these directories know what that audio is about, because it's audio, right? They need to know what what you're actually what's the title of the tag, who created it, things of that nature. So you're able to tag it. Number 5 is actually uploading it to a hosting site. Okay, and I'm gonna share with you a few hosting sites that are out there. Number 6 is actually scheduling your podcast. Okay, so you can actually schedule it, which is awesome. And you can literally create podcasts, 5 at a time or 10 at a time, let's just say, and have them go out on certain days. You can, if you're planning on going on vacation, right, and you know that it's going to land on the days that you produce your podcast, you can create them ahead of time, have them scheduled out, and you can be enjoying your vacation with your family, your kids, your wife, your husband, and you can still be running your business. Okay, something great that you can actually schedule out. Number 7 in this 8-step process is publishing your podcast. Once you scheduled it out, actually publishing it. And then number 8 is submitting it to iTunes. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a demo in a bit, and I'm going to take you through the 8-step process. It's not hard, it's not difficult. I'm just going to share with you how to do it, and you can actually model it. Okay, but before I do that, let's actually talk about recording software. Okay, the recording software that you can use in order for you to record is part of the 3 things that we need, right? So let's talk the recording software. There's one called Audacity. Okay, Audacity. That's the logo. It's the icon. Okay, there's GarageBand. Okay, GarageBand comes on the Mac. Okay, Audacity, by the way, it's free. So if you have a PC, you can actually, just go and do a search for Audacity, and you can actually download Audacity for free. Okay, so all the mumbo jumbo that's in your mind saying, "Oh, I don't have the money, I don't can't do it," I'm sharing with you how to actually create it without really having a big budget. Okay, Audacity is free. GarageBand, if you have a Mac, it's free. One that does include a monthly fee is the Adobe Audition. Okay, I don't use Adobe Audition, to be honest with you. I use Audacity. That's what I learned on. It's easy for me. I have a PC, so I'm able to go onto Audacity, and I'm gonna share with you in a demo in a bit how to actually do that. Okay, so there's the three: Audacity, GarageBand, and Adobe Audition that you can use. Those are three recording softwares that you can now tap into. Choose one, the one that works best for you. Audacity was easy for me, and it was just something that I can create and use and really just be able to take my podcast to the next level. It was easy. So now let's talk about hosting. Before we get into demo, let me just go through all this stuff so you can know the ins and outs, the technical side of things, in order for you to actually have your podcast up and running, right? Remember, create, produce, and launch. That's what the whole goal of this workshop is. So hosting, you're gonna need a hosting, sort of like a blog. Okay, think of your pod. If you own a blog, you probably have HostGator or your GoDaddy, whatnot, whatever it is. There's hosting companies out there. Well, in podcasting, hosting your audio, there's a few places you can go. Number one, and the one that I use, is Lipsin. Okay, Lipsin Liberated Syndication. It's a podcasting host. Okay, Lipsin for short for Liberated Syndication. They actually pioneered the system to host and publish podcasts in 2014. So podcast is not something that just came out yesterday. It's been around since 2014 or somewhere around that time frame. Uh, since then, they've actually grown to the largest leading podcast network. In 2011, Lipsin hosted over 10,000 shows with over 1.6 billion downloads. Okay, so it's a place, and the is it's a syndication platform too. So you can create, you can link up your Facebook account, you can link up your Twitter account, your Google Plus account, you can create, a WordPress, you link up your WordPress. So once you produce something, it goes out to all these different platforms, which is an awesome thing. So you're now syndicating your content, and other people are listening to it. Another one is SoundCloud. Okay, SoundCloud is uh is another platform, okay, hosting platform that you can use to really put your audios on, and now it's hosted there. Okay, so check both of those out. I use Lipsin. It's just one that I've modeled, and I love it. It gives you a lot of stats, a lot of details that I was looking for in order for me to be able to track the things that I do. So two hosting sites. So now let's go into a demo. Okay, so let me go back here real quick. If you're getting value, definitely let me know in the chat. Let me know if you guys are getting value. All right. And I'm going to get a quick drink of water real quick. But if you're getting value, definitely let me know in the chats. If something just, if you have a question either, or something that just blew know about, let me know as well. Put it in the chat, and we can go from there. Okay, so let's go into the demo. Let me go here real quick and get set up. 1 second, guys. Going to my Audacity. Now it's not working. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. This is a good time if you have questions, anything that I covered, go ahead and type it in. Even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and type it in. I'll be able to respond back to the questions later if I don't get to them today. So make sure if you have a question and I covered it already, if you want me to answer it, just type it in and I'll get to the questions at the end while we are waiting here. Sorry about that, guys. I somehow on my Audacity files, not all of them, but they got recovered, and now it's telling me that. Come on. Okay, so Audacity, okay, Audacity, okay, it's just a software. You download it online. Go to Google. You can find Audacity on Google and download it. Okay, use the GarageBand or use Adobe Audition. Uh, this right here, this is Audacity. So this is what I use. This I'm gonna share with you this because this is what I use. Okay, so first thing you want to do is you want to go hit new. Okay, so you're gonna create a new podcast, and I'm gonna take you through a quick demo just how to actually do it. So let me just see, you guys can see my screen. It looks like you can. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna need an intro, right? If you follow the 8-step formula, and I'm gonna follow it right now, then the first thing you want to do is you want to I should create your podcast. So let's just do hit record. This is actually a intro where you put the intro in. It's only 15 to 30 seconds long, talking a little bit about your podcast. So boom. So there's my intro, a little bit longer than once you have the intro, and what I can do here is I can cut this off if it's just something I don't need or the noise is not good. I can cut this off right here. Now here's the meat and potatoes of your podcast. Hit record. This is the meat and potatoes of the podcast. This is where you're going to provide your valuable content. Boom, got that right there. I can move this up, go here, and that's the middle. That's the meat and potatoes of the podcast. And then you want to have an outro or something when you finish your podcast. So this is where you include the outro for your podcast. Okay, so I got that done. And so now there's my podcast. Okay, it's not ready yet, but that's basically a podcast in itself. You got the intro, you got the meat and potatoes, the middle, and then you have the outro. Okay, so it's really not that difficult. Okay, and this is the file. So now, if you remember, now we have it. Now we have to export it, and we have to tag it. Okay, so let's export it now. So I'm gonna go here, export. I'm going to, there's going to be a pop-up window that comes up. I'm going to hit this right here, PBM2. So here's where you tag it. So you can put anything, artist name, track title, album title, track number, year, genre, any comments. I'm just going to load one that I have. Okay, so Martin Ware, The Unstoppable Journey, episode 80, Unstoppable Journey podcast, 80, 2015, business. Okay, so that was my 80th one. So now I just loaded it. Now I'm tagging it. So now this podcast is going to tell the directories that it's coming from The Unstoppable Journey. It's episode 80. It was in the year 2015. It's part, and I'm the artist, right? So go ahead and hit OK. It's going to, there it is. It's not a big file. So that little flash that you saw, it already created into an MP3. If it's longer, if it's an interview or something like that, 15, 20, 30 minutes, it might take you a minute or so for it to really export. But now I have the file. So what do we do now? Okay, once we tagged it, we can now go to, let me go to, one second here. We can now go to Lipsin, right? So let me go to Lipsin. Let me switch my screen up. Okay, so we're now, let's go to Lipsin. So we're in Lipsin now. Okay, so this is where, and you can definitely check out pricings, all that good stuff. Okay, check it out what it does. But go here, go to login. Okay, let me just log in real quick. And obviously this is, I'm sharing with you step by step, but this, once you get it down, I mean, it takes me less than 2 minutes to get this up and going. Okay, so gives you screenshots. Okay, 58,000. Okay, I was close. I thought we would have hit 59 by now, but 58,000. Okay, gives you some stats, good stuff. Here's where you're going to upload your new content. And here's the cool thing about this. Once you once you get your account and you set it up one time, you don't have to continue to add, uh, different topics or different, subcategories or anything like that. Once you have it set up once, it's just a set and forget type thing. Okay, so all you're really going to do is just come here, sent, okay, new episode, and I'm going to go ahead and add the file, hit upload, and desktop. 1 second here. Okay, I'm going to find the file. I have it under podcasting. So I'm going to go to PBM2. Okay, so I have PBM2. I might have used this one before, but if it goes. So it's processing right now. Okay, so yeah, I've actually used this already. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me just name it something else. And because I've actually used it in a demo before. So let me just name it something else real quick, and then I'll be able to use that file. Podcast episodes. If you have questions, now's the time to actually ask them. I'll be able to go ahead and answer them at the end of the workshop. Okay. So if you have questions, anything I've covered so far, even if you're watching the replay, make sure you ask them. I get the so that's not a big deal. I'll answer them. Okay, and you'll get a message as well. So make sure you go ahead and do that. So let me just rename this real quick. Dang it. B3. Let me just call it PMB3. Okay, so I named it that. So let me go here again. So upload PBM3. Okay, so let me see. You guys should still be seeing my screen. Yeah, so now it's uploading. It's processing. The title. This is your title. Okay, and subtitle. Okay, just subtitle. Okay. I'm just going through this, trying to go fast. Okay. Your podcast. So description of your podcast episode. Okay. So that's going to be tagged and that's going to go into iTunes once you do it. So this is what I was telling you about. Once I figure this out and once you set it up the one time, you don't have to do this ever again, but you can do business, education, podcast interviews, general. Once that's in there, you don't have to mess with it. The tags and the keywords, you don't have to mess with it. I've already set it up like that. Okay. Now, if you want to put our Facebook status, you can also put something here. I'm not going to do that for this demonstration. Here, in part of the 8-step process, now you have to, schedule your podcast, okay, so it can be released. So you go here, you go to set, you can actually release it right away, just hit publish, or you can set it up in a timely manner where you can set it up any day of the week or of the month that you want. So we're March 18th, 2015. I'm going to go to March 18th, 2024. On that time at 12 p.m. Okay, so I'm actually not going to release this. I don't want it to go out, but in the year 2024, this podcast is set to release. So you can put any month or year or anything that you want, and you can set it up and schedule it. So now what we would do is we'd hit publish. Okay. So that's part of it. Now, part of the 8 steps is publishing it. Okay. Tagging it, all that good stuff. Okay, it's thinking right now. But once you're able to do that, now the next step is to take your RSS feed. Okay, so here it is. All right, here's the download link, permalink. Now let's actually go to drafts or schedule for release. Let's go to schedule for release, and I'll show you that it's actually set up to go out in year 2024. Okay, so this is your title. That's the name of the podcast. Sunday, March 24, 2024. Okay, the reason why we couldn't do PBM because I actually did a demo before and I named it that, and we set it up for 2020, March 20th, 2020. Okay, so this lets you know that your future podcasts are already set up and they're going to be released at a certain time and a certain day. Okay, so that's that. That's publishing it. Now, in order for you to actually go on to iTunes, let's actually go here. Your RSS feed. Okay, an RSS feed is just basically a feed that tells iTunes or Stitcher Radio or SoundCloud. Anytime you release a podcast, they'll actually get an update on their system. So here's what you're going to get. Okay, you see, mine is called unstoppablejourney.com or unstoppablejourney.lipsin.com/RSS. You're gonna take that RSS, you're gonna copy it, and then you're gonna go into iTunes. Okay, let me open up my iTunes real quick. You're going to get this RSS feed, okay? Whether it's here in Lipsin, whether it's in SoundCloud, you're going to take this RSS, and this is key, guys. Write this in your notes. This is key right here. If you don't take this, you're not going to be able to get onto the platforms. You need this RSS feed, and it's right here. I'll show you again. Go to Destinations, okay? It's going to open up, and Lipsin Classic feed, okay? You just grab that, copy that, and if you're in SoundCloud, you can also just copy the RSS feed from there too and just be able to submit it onto iTunes. So my iTunes is starting to pop up, and let me share with you my iTunes. Okay, so we're in iTunes now. Okay, so we're in the store, and it's trying to access the store. Podcast. Okay, it's accessing the store, guys. It's a little slow today, but we're going to plow through. We're not going to let no excuses come between us, okay? Not even technology. We're going to plow through it, and if you're getting value, definitely let me know. Comment one key thing that you've gotten so far from this podcast, from this workshop. Let me know what you've gotten so far. I keep saying podcast because I use podcasts a lot, but this is actually a workshop on podcasting. So here is the iTunes store, and if you're a Mac user, I mean, you're pretty much familiar with this. If you're not, then you can get familiar with it. But what I was talking about, okay, is this area right here, this new and noteworthy. Okay, this area right here is prime real estate. When I told you that I was able to get on new and noteworthy, I was able to get onto this prime real estate right here. And now, when people sign into iTunes, the iTunes store, they now see a podcast. So, this pod or movie fights, any of these are prime real estate. People are going to, because it's the new and the noteworthy. So they want to see what the heck is that about. And that is key, guys. That is key to success in your first 56 days. So 8 weeks. You have only 8 weeks, guys, to get onto the new and noteworthy. After that, iTunes doesn't treat it as a new and noteworthy, or maybe it could still be noteworthy, but it's not new anymore after 56 days. So part of the formula is really tapping into the new and noteworthy. And how do you do that? Well, you get, and I'll share with you later, but you get people to subscribe, you get people to review your podcast, and as you do that, as you grow, iTunes starts seeing more people listening to your podcast, so they want to put you up there, but you only have 8 weeks to do it. So you got to use the formula. All right, and I'm going to share with you what the formula is right now. I know you're asking that question. What the heck is the formula then? If I want to get into iTunes. So there's different categories. I don't want to keep showing this. Stop it. X out of here. Get out of here. All right, anyways. So if you can see right here, podcast, right? There's all these categories right here. There's arts, business, comedy, education, games, and hobbies. But for the Unstoppable Journey, we're in business, we were in technology, and education. Those are the three that we topped out on. And those are, the people that I want to attract to my podcast. Okay, so you can be in any. You don't have to be in business. You can be in arts. You can be in health and wellness. You can be in. If you have a family, you want to create a podcast of how to actually raise kids, right? People that are barely getting to the kids, raising their kids, they might want to listen to a podcast that you create. Okay, it's about figuring out that zone of genius though, and being able to create that for others. Okay, news, politics, religion, spirituality, science, medicine, society, cultures, history, things of that nature. Okay, so there's a whole bunch of them, and then there's subcategories, which is crazy. So what? Now that we did that, we got our RSS feed. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into the iTunes, right? Podcast. Here's a little podcast sign right here. And you're going to submit a podcast, okay? So this is the last of everything, right? This is going to make everything connect and all the 8 steps come together. Okay, so we're going to hit the submit a podcast. And as my computer thinks, what you're going to do, you're going to submit the RSS feed from Lipsin or SoundCloud or wherever you're hosting your podcast at. You're going to grab the RSS feed and you're going to submit it to iTunes, okay? And it could take anywhere between 24 hours all the way up to 72 hours or longer, just depending on who's reviewing your podcast. For me, it actually took about 17 hours, which was crazy because I launched it and then 17 hours later we're actually on iTunes. So it was really fast for me, at least. Okay, so submit a podcast. So here's where you would submit the podcast. Okay, so as you can see, podcast RSS feed that you consider adding to the iTunes store. So what you would do here is you would paste your RSS feed. Okay, RSS feed right here. Mine was unsolvablejourney.lipsin.com/RSS. Yours is going to be different. You're going to grab that and you're going to paste it there, and then you're going to hit continue. I'm not going to hit continue because I already have my podcast on there. But that is 8 simple ways of actually creating, producing, and launching your very own podcast. Okay, it's not harder than that, guys. It's not harder than that. Trust me, I thought it was harder than that, but it really is not harder than that. Another good thing is once you submit it to the iTunes RSS feed, it's already there. You don't have to continue doing the steps. So you do this one time, and once it's on iTunes, then you're good to go. All you have to go is go to Lipsin, upload your podcast that you've tagged and you've named it, and then just hit submit and publish, and automatically the day that it goes live, it'll go to your iTunes directory, and you don't even have to worry about it, okay, because you already set it up one time. If that doesn't excite you, my friend, you definitely got to check your post, because when I heard that, I was like, man, I can create all this awesome content and have it go out there and not really have to worry about it. Man, that just blew my mind and got me excited about podcasting. So that's how you use the 8 steps to create your podcast. So let's actually go back into the keynote here. And if you're getting value, my friend, definitely let me know. I want to know that you're getting value and you're actually getting something from this workshop. So awesome. So it actually says on your screen, it should say demo. Okay, looks like it is. All right, awesome. So let's keep moving. Let's keep plowing through. Okay, so I talked very briefly about the launch plan. Okay, the perfect launch plan. I'm gonna give it to you right now. Write it down. Okay, write it down. You want to maximize new and noteworthy. Okay, iTunes is a top dog in the podcasting realm, and it has 525 million active users that go there to listen to podcasts and just browse around and get different apps and things like that. If you're able to tap into that and be on the front page, then you now have now you open up the doors of exposure to so many different people. Okay, so here's the perfect launch plan. You want to maximize your new and noteworthy. You launch with episode 000, okay, 3 zeros. It's really about the show. Okay, it's the show. Like if you think of a blog or a website, it has an about me section or about the blogger, whoever content it is. That's the about me section. Episode 000 is really just, for me, I'm gonna just tell you how I like it. 000 talks about the podcast, talks about the host. It talks about what to expect from the host. Okay, how many times they're going to produce one, what days they're going to produce it, what is the content going to be like? Is it going to be interview based? Is it going to be a co-host? Is it going to be, just them talking, about a certain topic? But you don't want to go over, I mean, for me, I say 15 minutes on the very first podcast. I've seen some that go, 45 to an hour. And for my brain, I mean, it just, I want to skip over it because I don't even know if it's right. So 15 minutes, I mean, you can get everything in 15 minutes. You're doing good. And you want to launch with the 000, okay? And you also want to launch with 3 shows, not one or not 10, but 3. Okay, and this is, I don't have any proven facts on this, but it's just something that if you launch with one, okay, and iTunes picks it up, and let's just say, for example, 100 people download and subscribe to your podcast. Now you have 100 downloads, right? Which is good. But if you launch with 3, those same 100 people, now you have 300 downloads because those 100 people now downloaded 3 of your episodes. So 100 times 3 is 300. You now have 300 people listening to your podcast and downloading your podcast. So that's part of the formula. If you launch with 10, it's just overwhelming. Okay. You want to launch with not 1, not 10, but 3. That's like the perfect, ratio in the formula. Okay. 0, 0, and 2 more. When you launch, when you submit your RSS feed, you want to have 3 of those bad boys in there already. So when someone comes to your podcast site, they see 3, they say, okay, this person is, he's committed. If they go there and there's only 1, it's like, oh man, this person only left 1. Okay, not only that, but it's defeating the purpose of getting the downloads, okay, which you really need in order for you to get on New and Noteworthy. And here's another thing that people fail to do, and I was able to do this, and that's what got me onto the New and Noteworthy and got me, extra subscribers, extra downloads, and people just listening and building that community, is you have to ask your listeners to subscribe, rate, and review your podcast. This must be your vocabulary. You only have 8 weeks or 56 days to capitalize on the New and Noteworthy. Okay, so you have to start asking people to subscribe, rate, and review your podcast. Okay, that could be family members, that could be people in your networks, that could be, people at work or anybody that you know. Hey, I just released a podcast. Definitely love for you to check it out. Leave me a review and subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. It's not a big deal. But you need that has to be in your vocabulary for the first 56 weeks, and then after, yes. But those 56 weeks are so important if you want to maximize this perfect launch plan. You want to start asking for subscribes, rates, and reviews for people that actually, go out there and listen to your podcast. It's very, very important part of the formula. So let's now talk the tools. You know the system. You know how to create your perfect avatar. You know how to get into your zone of genius. And if you don't know how to do that, go back and listen to this replay again. But now let's talk about how to actually grow your audience, okay? And how to actually grow it using social media. Social media is anything from Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, okay, Reddit. There's so many different ones out there. LinkedIn, okay, those are social media platforms, okay, that you can actually tap into. You can also tap into your email list, okay? So if you built an email list, you can actually tell them, hey, I'm releasing a podcast. You can give them a bonus if they go and download, leave a rating, review, and subscribe. You can, shoot them something, or, figure it out. You can give them, 30 minutes of a call, or whatever maybe you can give to them for doing that act of kindness and helping you get to the New and Noteworthy, okay? And then third is text. You can text people, okay? Text people. People are on their phones nowadays more than ever. And I like this picture because I don't know about you, like I mentioned earlier, but if you leave the house without your phone, you pretty much chained to your phone, right? You have to go back to it, or I know for me, I always, if I leave it, I have to go back for it. So it's just part of us. And people open text a lot more now than they do emails. So, you can build your list still. That's I'm not saying don't build your list, but if you're able to now capture and send them text messages whenever you release a podcast, then you now have them, opening up the podcast, listening to it, and engaging more with your stuff. So 3 simple ways to use social media to really just build your list. Another thing that I've learned and I'm doing is really leveraging your guest list. And what it does is it helps you tap into new audience that you normally wouldn't have tapped into. Okay, so my past guests like Nicole Lappin, Vidal Cineros Jr., Dean Lewis. Okay, they're all successful people, and they all have their list and people that follow them. But if you interview them like I did, right? Let's just say whoever's in your niche, some guru, whoever that you want to interview, they have value. You can now, once that podcast goes live, you can go back to them and say, hey, here are all the links. I really appreciate if you share it with your audience. It's highlighting you as an entrepreneur or as my guest, and we're highlighting you and your business. So if you don't mind, go ahead and share it. And oftentimes than not, these people want to share that content because they invested some time with you and it's about them. So why not share it with their audience, right? So you can tap into, another key thing is tapping into your guest audience, and it's really been something that I've learned and starting to really take effect on how many downloads I'm getting. So now let's, as we're getting into the final lap of this, presentation, let's actually talk about now monetize. I know you're probably telling yourself, because I did it, okay, the podcast is free, but how do you make money, right? You're going to invest a lot of time to create these podcasts, but how do you actually make money? Well, let me share with you. Number one is using affiliate marketing. Okay. And if you're not familiar with affiliate marketing, it's, there's many out there, but, essentially in a nutshell is, there's a product or service that is out there. If you offer it to others and you're an affiliate and they actually take you up on that offer and they buy and they spend and they invest money, then you get a certain percentage of that sale. Okay, so you can use affiliate marketing. It's one thing that I'm big is using affiliate marketing, and it's a way that I direct this audience now that I'm creating this community to products and services that I use. Most importantly, that I really use in my business. And now if they choose to use it because I recommended it, then now I get a percentage of that sale. Okay, so you can use affiliate marketing to really monetize your podcast. Number two is personal coaching. Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that in a bit, but if you have a certain expertise or certain thing that you are good at, you can now provide the coaching service to somebody else that is that is not as knowledgeable as you. Okay, so you can actually create this personal coaching, and through your podcast, you can offer it on your podcast. You can, anyone that raises their hand that wants to know more, you can now talk to them and see how you can help them out. Number three is masterminds. Okay, I'm actually rolling this out. I'm working on this right now, but rolling out Warrior Nation Elite. Okay, it's a mastermind group where I'm going to be meeting with people all over the world, and people that are in Warrior Nation Elite, and we're going to be masterminding on our business. We're going to be being in different environments and exotic places, and my vision is big for that. So another way is to mastermind, create mastermind groups, and have others get that value. And four is sponsorships. Okay, think of a radio station. A radio station, how do they make their revenue? It's by the sponsorships and the commercials that they have playing on their station. So if you can get people to listen to your podcast, there's sponsorships out there that are willing to pay you to have their 15-second clip or 30-second clip on your podcast, because that your target audience is listening to your podcast and they're going to listen to their message. So if you bring on sponsorship, you can actually have them pay you up front before you even create the podcast. So it gets a lot deeper than that. So here are four ways: affiliate marketing, personal coaching, mastermind groups, and sponsorships to create and monetize your podcast. So if you follow the step-by-step blueprint I've just outlined inside of this powerful podcast mastery blueprint presentation, then your ability to create your ultimate lifestyle and buy back your time and your freedom with speed, ease, and pleasure will simply shock you, my friend. Now, because we only had about 60 minutes or so on this hangout, okay, I went over a little bit. I didn't really get the opportunity to go into the deep psychology and strategic process to generate endless amounts of leads to your podcast for maximum efficiency. So I gave you the, if you got off right now off of this workshop, you can go out there and create your podcast already. Okay. But one thing I wasn't able to do, since the time is limited, I wasn't able to really get into deep psychology of creating the leads that that comes from creating a podcast. So with that being said, I want to offer you a free one-on-one coaching session to help you get some clarity on the process to set up and build your own stealth recruiting funnel branded to you. Okay, I want you to be able to create this, and I want to share with you everything that I know on a free, one-on-one coaching session. Okay, so if you like what you heard and you really want to take me up on this, I mean, it's a free offer. I really want to take this to the next level and share with you, more facts. But I mean, let's be realistic. Only 60 minutes. Can't really share, everything. I want to do that on a one-on-one call with you. So if you like to take me up on this free offer, all you have to do is simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Once again, theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Okay, go there. Let me just actually show you what it looks like. Okay, let me go there real quick. theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Okay, so we'll go here, and if you go there, then you'll see this coaching application. Okay, and it's a few questions that I want you to answer. Fill it out. Okay, it doesn't take more than a few minutes to do, but it's going to give me a little bit more about who you are and how can I help you. Okay, so I really want, whether that's creating your perfect avatar or creating your zone of genius or creating your topic or whatever it is, helping you with the technical stuff. You have a free one-on-one coaching call with me. Okay, here's the application. Okay, it's not too much. Just fill it out, hit send. I'll get it on my end, and we'll start setting up the coaching calls. Okay, so if you want to take me up on the offer, once again, go to unstoppablejourney.com/coaching, and you can actually go ahead and sign up for your free call. Okay, so I'm gonna take a quick drink of water. So remember, go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching and get your free coaching call out there, and let's actually get your podcast out there up and running. So for those of you that are still here to the end, I promise you a special gift, my friend. So if you're still watching this, even if you're watching this, I want to share with you mymittspages.com. Okay, one thing that I always look for, especially on my in the whole online marketing niche, is I always look for tools that will help me along my journey. And being a person that didn't own a computer until I was a sophomore in college, I didn't really have the computer skills that I do now, obviously, but I always look for tools that will help me make things easier. And mymittspages.com is one of those tools that you just do not want to have. You want to have in your toolbox, because you can create professional looking capture pages, sales pages, webinar pages, and you don't even have to know all the technical stuff. You just point and click, choose a color, choose a background image, and sync it all up, and boom, and you have a professional looking lead capture page that will capture all the leads that you're looking to create using your podcast. So mymittspages.com is a free gift, as I promised, for staying to the end. It's mine to you, okay, as an appreciation. So lastly, if you'd like to take me up on this free coaching offer, simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Okay, theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching to actually get your free coaching call, and we can, we could go through any question that you have about podcasting. Be to a seasoned veteran, I'm here to help and share value. So if you want to take me up on the offer, simply go to theunstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Awesome, my friend. So let's see. Let me take a look and see if there's any questions. If there's not, then I'll go ahead and let you get out of here. All right. Okay, cool. Doesn't look like there's any questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and if you're watching the replay, go ahead and message me anyways. I'll go ahead and be able to respond back to you. Okay, so Last time, the unstoppablejourney.com/coaching. Set up your free coaching call with me and let's rock this podcasting, okay? And let's actually tap into the blue ocean of podcasting. So, my name is Martin Ware. Hopefully, you got a ton of value from tonight's call. I'll see you on our coaching call. I can't wait to connect with you. This is Martin Ware, over and out.